Welcome to The Verdict. Mick Cornett with Kent Myers. We're glad you're here with us this week. And on this week's show, we're going to learn a lot more about Oklahoma City University by meeting its president.
Yes, Tom McDaniel is going to be with us talking about what's going on at OCU in all aspects. I like their slogan as Oklahoma City's University. They certainly are one of the universities here in the metropolitan area, but have been around a long time on 23rd Street. My grandparents lived across the street from OCU, and my mother was a graduate of OCU. So I've been familiar with OCU for a long time. They're doing a lot of great things there, a lot of innovative programs. They do some things that are somewhat leading edge, not necessarily the norm, but everything they take on, they seem to do really well.
That's right. Business, law, producing Miss Americas, you name it, and Tom McDaniel and OCU do it pretty well.
I don't know of anybody that has a track record on the performing arts in the state that OCU has.
And we'll bring that to light in this show. Tom McDaniel, Oklahoma City University president, coming up next on The Verdict.
Every day America uses clean-burning natural gas instead of coal or oil is a day of victory for our environment. That's why Chesapeake chose to explore for natural gas exclusively, and we've never looked back. Because natural gas burns twice as clean as oil or coal, and reducing carbon emissions to combat potential global warming is every bit as urgent as cutting our dependence on energy imports. As America's #1 driller of new gas wells, Chesapeake is moving fast to find untapped reserves of natural gas here at home. It's the right fuel for America's economy and the fuel for a clean air future. We just happen to be early to see it so clearly. Chesapeake, natural gas wins the day.
Hi, honey. You've got to check this out.
What? What are we listening to?
I had digital phone service installed today.
It sounds just like before.
I know, but it's going to save us a ton of money.
With Cox Digital Telephone, you'll save big every month. Keep your same phone number and get your favorite calling features. Just pay less.
That does sound good.
You should hear the upstairs phone.
Cox Channel, following your favorite teams all season long.
Welcome back to The Verdict. Kent's going to introduce today's distinguished guest.
Yes, once again, we're pleased to welcome back President Tom McDaniel, Oklahoma City University. Pardon me. Tom got his BA degree from Northwestern Oklahoma State University in Alva a number of years ago. His law degree from the University of Oklahoma. He served as Administrative Director of Oklahoma State Courts. He was in private practice. He served with Kerr-McGee Corporation, attaining the title of Vice Chairman and on the Board of Directors at the time he left. He has then went back to Northwestern Oklahoma State University as president, the first alumni ever to serve as president of that institution. And now is president at Oklahoma City University and has been for a number of years. He's, of course, got hundreds, literally hundreds of community activities and accolades, and we're pleased to get about 30 minutes of his time to tell you what's going on at OCU. Tom, welcome back.
Thank you, Kent and Mick. Mr. Mayor, I'm delighted to be back with you again.
You guys are always in the paper or on television. I don't know if just more things are happening or you just have a better PR department since you've gotten there. But I tell you, OCU is just all over the place. And most recently, your men's basketball team won a national championship.
Yes, I was lucky enough to be there. They played that championship in Kansas City, and it was a matter of 5 games in 7 days. So it's a little bit of a marathon as much as anything. But our team really did well, and we were glad to win the championship.
Just to focus on sports for a little bit longer, tell us about what else is going on at OCU besides championship men's basketball.
Well, I suppose I'd like to say that we try to achieve excellence in everything we do, and athletics would certainly fit in there very nicely. The most recent addition to our athletic programs that may be of interest to people is our rowing program. We started Oklahoma City's first men's and women's rowing team, and that has developed into quite a thing at our university. We have about 40 men and women who row. We have a great coach in Mike Knopp. It's really been something to showcase the Oklahoma River in Oklahoma City. And last year we had about 35,000 people show up for our regatta, which is held in the fall each year. This year we have started volleyball, wrestling. We continue to play men's and women's golf. We won the national championship in both men's and women's golf last year. Our soccer teams continue to do well, and so those are the things we're doing now. We have a great softball team and a baseball team that's won a national championship a couple of years ago, and they're both ranked in the top 5 in the country now.
We had Mike on, the rowing coach, Mike
You bet.
Knopp. And he told us a little bit about getting the program started. I guess the Chesapeake Boathouse is helpful in that regard.
Oh boy, yeah, I just say that Chesapeake has been a big help at the river, and it's helped our program a lot. It's helped high school programs. Mike not only is our rowing coach, but he's the director of the Chesapeake Boathouse, so it's a great partnership.
And you don't start, well, you may start, but you don't stay down in the lower echelons very long. Your rowing program is now up competing with national rowing teams, particularly from the east.
Well, that's true. They go back east to the national championships each year, the 3 years that we've had rowing, and last year we had a couple of teams and individuals who won medals there, so we're really pleased. But even more interesting to me is the fact that the rowing teams from both coasts are coming to Oklahoma City for the head of the Oklahoma Regatta. So we've had Harvard, we'll have Stanford this year, the U.S. Naval Academy, University of Texas comes, and so it's really turned out to be a big affair.
You have a slogan on your website that says, OCU, where you are a name, not a number. It's pretty catchy, but how do you make that come true? Because it's a big school. I mean, there's lots of students.
Well, it is. We have about 4,000 students, and we like to think we make it come true like this. We have small classes. We give individualized attention. We try to make sure that at every level of the university, people are treated in a personalized way. That is, if you're in to pay your tuition or if you're there to apply for a scholarship, we want to know who you are. Brenda and I work hard at that as well. We go to all the university events, and then we have what we call OCU chats, where we invite students to our house once a month. And so I think it's a university-wide effort to get to know the student and to make them feel like they get individual attention, and that's how we try to make that come alive.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I have been at university events and seen you and Brenda interact with the students, and it really is interesting to watch that play. It's as if they are, first of all, on first name basis with you. I mean, there seems to be a very close interaction between. I mean, when I was in college, I don't know if I ever saw the president of my university in the 3.5 years I was there, much less had close interaction. So that must be something that you two emphasize.
Well, it certainly is. We have the advantage of living on campus. The university provides us a home, and so we live there, and it makes it easier for us to attend all of their events. So we go to all the ball games and the musical performances and the debates and all the things that they do. And when you see them in that environment, you get to know them as individuals and know their names. And so we work hard at doing it. It's just like having your own children, so we love it.
You do so many things, and as we've indicated before, all of them well. And I know that OCU is a private school. But the tuition can't cover near all of what the student gets as a benefit for being a student there. So you must be involved, or someone is involved in fundraising for OCU, and they must be doing it successfully.
Well, it is absolutely true that at a private institution where you don't get any taxpayer state money, that the tuition is higher, and the way that we keep ourselves competitive is to raise money for scholarships for students and chairs for teachers and that sort of thing. So yes, a big part of my job is to be out there telling the OCU story and trying to get people engaged in helping us. And the fact is that we've been very fortunate over the course of the last few years. We celebrated our centennial in 2004, and we kicked off a campaign that year to raise $100 million. And we got that accomplished in about 18 months. Wow. The result of which is many new buildings, new programs, infrastructure improvements that I think will see us through the next century.
I'm going to surprise you with a question here that just popped into my head. Do you have students from all 50 states and how many foreign countries?
We have students from about 40 foreign countries, and we have them from between 45 and 50 states. I'm not sure that in any semester we would have someone from every state, but we always have students from about 40 states. Many of them come for law school from around the country. Many come for our dance program, which has been voted the #1 dance program in the country, and so we have a lot of young men and women come there to dance. And then our other performing arts and music, vocal performance, theater, they attract students from all over the country.
Let me jump in here and get us to a break. We're visiting with OCU President Dr. Tom McDaniel. We'll be right back.
The Journal-Record is pleased to be a sponsor of The Verdict. The Journal-Record, since 1903, the best source of Oklahoma business news and legal information.
Shining is taking responsibility. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Oklahoma, we know managing your health care can be overwhelming, and it's our job to help you meet the challenge. By guiding, supporting, and showing the way, we encourage you to gain control. Because we believe the best tool we can give you is the confidence to take charge. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oklahoma, shining through.
Okiwani is an Indian name for a place where children play. When we obtained the camp, we found a lot of oil debris left in the woods. We saw a commercial about how the oil and natural gas industry cleans up old oil well sites. We called the OERB, and they agreed to remove tons of concrete and steel. It didn't cost us a thing. Thousands of children have left their footprints on this land. Thanks to the oil and gas industry, they will for a long time to come.
Wilsey, Meyer, Eatman, Tate. We're accountants. We do taxes, business valuations, estate planning, and consulting. And we're right here in Oklahoma, working with the owners of small and medium-sized businesses. Steve Wilsey and Stuart Meyer have the resources and the experience. Wilsey, Meyer, Eatman, Tate in Oklahoma City and Tulsa.
You need this one to get satellite HD. This one's your DVR. This one's for local channels. This one's...
What are we supposed to do with all this stuff?
Got you covered. Oh, by the way, that old satellite stuff makes a great end cable.
That doesn't look so bad, right, honey?
Don't live in satellite denial. Get the latest entertainment without the hassles from Cox, your friend in the digital age.
Not sure where you're headed? NATS can help you find your way. It's the National Athletic Testing System. We call it NATS. You'll call it your launching pad to success. NATS will give you a standardized evaluation that will help you measure your performance and give that information to college coaches so they can accurately evaluate your potential. NATS also helps with academic support. Join with the Oklahoma High School Football Coaches Association and head for success at www.nats.us.
Welcome back to The Verdict. We're visiting with OCU President Tom McDaniel. Tom, when we left, we touched on athletics, but the idea of taking OCU from NAIA to Division I is ongoing. Can you give everybody an update?
Yes, we're excited about the possibilities both for OCU and for the city of Oklahoma City to take our program back to NCAA Division I. We hired a consultant made up of some former, or a consulting company made up of some former Division I athletic directors, and they did a report for us and gave us kind of a roadmap for the future. It included several things, one of which is that we need to improve our facilities, and so we're doing that. We're building a women's softball field now. We put lights on the baseball field, on the soccer field, and we continue to improve our practice facilities as well. In addition, we knew that we would have to have a conference affiliation, and so we're thinking through how we do that. And so it will be a major step for us, but we were NCAA Division I back in Abe Lemon's days in the 70s, and in some ways I wish we had not left, although we've really enjoyed our time in the NAIA, but we think it would be good for our university and we think it would be good for the city.
Mm-hmm. What benefits does it bring to the university if the program moves and is successful?
Well, among other things, of course, in the NCAA, if it ultimately long-term is successful, you can be on television and make money with your athletic programs by doing that. And I think it gives the university as well as the city some visibility across the country. When you see those names rolling across the bottom of the screen, having Oklahoma City University on all of those cable channels across the country is a good thing, I think, for the city and for us.
Any thought about going back to football?
We have talked about that. It is not in our current plan. There, as you know, very great and successful programs already in the state, and it would be a very expensive undertaking for us to begin from scratch.
Let's change the subject from athletics to other things that are really going on well at Oklahoma City University. The thing that pops into my mind is the performing arts.
Yes.
Tell us about that a little bit, what's going on, and what kind of programs do you have?
Well, we have throughout the performing arts, I think about it in kind of three categories. We have what we believe is the finest new music facility in America, the Wanda L. Bass School of Music, a new $38.5 million facility that we just dedicated actually a year ago yesterday on April the 1st. And it has attracted students from all over the country.
All Steinway.
And thanks to Mrs. Bass, we also became an all Steinway school. For us, every music major has to learn to play the piano, whether it's vocal performance or whether you play the violin, you have to learn to play the piano. So for us, to be an all Steinway school was 105 new Steinways, a little over $2 million, and Mrs. Bass bought those for us. So the School of Music is doing quite well. I mentioned earlier that we had some of our great grads back on Friday night for Starry Nights, where they performed with the Oklahoma City Philharmonic. But Kristen Chenoweth, the Tony Award winner, and Kelly O'Hara, Lara Teeters, John Sawyer, Barbara Fox DeMaio were all back. In addition to that, we have a theater program that has quadrupled in size over the last 3 years, and we are in the midst of just making an agreement in principle with the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. They have schools in both Los Angeles and New York, and they're looking for the capability of producing what I'll call triple threats. Many people who want to get into the professional acting these days also want to be able to sing and dance, many of them because they want to do commercials, and all of those skills are available. They don't do either of those things. And so we have the #1 dance school of its kind in America, the Ann Lacey School of Dance. So we have entered into an agreement with them. They're going to send some people here. We'll be sending our students to New York and Los Angeles for training as well. So I'm very excited about that.
You have a number of foreign students on campus.
We do.
How do you interact with them, and how do you move forward and long term and try to increase that presence?
Well, over time, Oklahoma City University has had a great relationship with international students. We have them come from, as I mentioned, 50 countries. They have predominantly been in our business school, and we have a great relationship with a university in Israel that sends us music students, but by and large they're there to study computer science, get an MBA, study business. As a result of that, we have exchange programs with Tianjin University in China and with a university in Vancouver. So we have both students from those places that come here, and then we send our students there for a semester or a year of study. The one in China we call the Great Wall program, and we probably have 25 students over there now studying in China that will come back. The percentage of international students has gone down at our university as a result of a good number of things, including the difficulty with getting visas after 9/11. And so now we probably have about 10%, 12% international students, and they come from really all over the world.
It seems like every time I drive by OCU, there's some construction going on, a crane or something. Tell us about what's just opened, what's about to open, what's on the drawing boards.
Well, the two most landmark buildings that we built in the last several years would be the Bass Music Center that I've already described, and the Minder School of Business, which I think is a world-class business school that perhaps both of you have had a chance to see. We have about 4 or 5 projects going on right now that I'm really excited about. One is we're building a new $23 million residence hall, a new dormitory that we expect to have in use in the fall of 2007, that is this year.
Yeah, wow.
We're building the new Edith Kinney Gaylord building, which is going to be a new home for our Lacey School of Dance. So we'll have a new dance school this year. We're spending about $7 million on our student center. We're going to redo it. It's kind of a 1955 model that needed to be upgraded, and so we're doing that this year. We're also redoing our library, and then I mentioned finally that we will be dedicating probably before the end of this school year a new women's softball field.
And the size of your campus, somewhat landlocked. Do you have the land that you need to continue to grow?
Well, we do. I think that we will continue to look for opportunities to purchase contiguous property as it becomes available. As you know, we're not a public entity, so we don't have the power of eminent domain. So our process has probably been more slowly developed than some of the public institutions would be, because we try to buy as we can. When the biggest step out we've made is for the Minder School of Business. It's on 2 city blocks that were not on the campus before, and so that's really given us a lot of additional space, but we will continue to look for opportunities, and principally we would be going north and east. 23rd Street borders us on the south, and so we would be going north and east.
10 years from now, how will Oklahoma City University be different?
Well, I hope in a lot of ways. I think that we've had good success in building infrastructure for the next 10 years, but we continue to look for opportunities to do that. I think the principal changes will be these. First, with the infrastructure we have, we think we can accommodate more students than we have been. That's why we're building the new dorm. So I see us going from 4,000 or thereabout students now to something on the 4,500, 5,000 student range in 10 years. We're not looking to become a major research university. We want to be a name and not a number, but still in all, we can accommodate another 500 students. But I say the principal change will be that we will have a seminary. As you may know, there's only one seminary in Oklahoma now. I'm differentiating Bible study places, but I'm saying where you can get a master's degree of theology, and it's located in Tulsa. It's Phillips University Theological Seminary, and we have recently entered into an agreement with St. Paul Theological Seminary in Kansas City, and so we will be establishing St. Paul's Theological Seminary at Oklahoma City University. We'll be offering classes this fall and have it a full residential seminary the following year.
We have run out of time. President Tom McDaniel, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Tom.
Kent and I'll have a final word after this.
The good life comes naturally to Tulsa, where nature's beauty is matched with an eye for aesthetics. A legacy of neighborhoods graced with lawns and landscaping and handsome homes. A place that seems to have patented an ideal lifestyle. Bank First is loyal to the quality of life Tulsa assures its citizens, to the priority placed on education, culture, and growth. Loyal to builders who transform raw land into residential charm. Developers who see opportunity and add vitality to Tulsa's economy. Bank First serves both enterprise and private lives that need a loyal partner. It's how we help nurture this city's very good life. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal to you.
Just keep it.
Thank you.
Dr. Kessler? What's up with the pizzas?
Well, I just got my first satellite bill, and those extra fees were a bit of a shocker.
So I had to take a second job.
Hey, this was supposed to be pepperoni, dillweed.
Hey, it's Dr. Dillweed to you.
Whatever. Kids. It's cool. I'm a people person.
Don't live in satellite denial. Get all your entertainment without the hidden charges from Cox, your friend in the digital age.
Hi, this is James Garner.
Hi, this is Reba McEntire.
Hi, this is Johnny Bench.
Hi, I'm Barry Switzer.
Hey everybody, this is Vince Gill.
Welcome to my home state of Oklahoma,
where we'll be celebrating 100 years of statehood
in 2007.
Our strength is our people, and the 2,100 Oklahomans from the Cox Communications family are proud to be part of Oklahoma's story. Cox and Oklahoma, true partners.
Happy birthday, Oklahoma.
Wrapping up another show on The Verdict, we've been visiting with OCU President Tom McDaniel.
President Tom McDaniel has made a huge impact out at OCU. It was, of course, a fine institution before he got there, but it's better because he's there.
And we give website information so you can learn more about our guests. That website information for OCU University is okcu.edu, okcu.edu. And of course, you can come to our website, theverdict.tv, and tell us about a show that you'd like to see. For Kent Myers, I'm Mick Cornett. We'll see you next time on The Verdict.
The preceding program was produced by the Production Services Group at Cox Communications, exclusively for the Cox Channel.